Hello and welcome to your new favorite Mom Hangout. This is your friend Nelli. Let's get started. Hello! I am so happy that you're here. I don't think that you guys understand how exciting this is for me. I have been waiting to do this podcast forever, and I don't know why I waited so long. So let's just get started. What is going to happen in the podcast? What can you expect from this? And like the intro said, this is going to be your favorite mom hangout. Nothing is self limits, or pretty much nothing, because I want this to be a place where we can openly talk about everything that is a concern to us every single day. This is not just about our kids and what happens in our everyday lives. This is about you as a mom and as a woman and all the journeys that we go through. So you're going to hear a ton of stories from different women that I care about and I really, really admire. And lots of guests that we're going to have coming in and out throughout different weeks. The goal is we're going to have a 30 to 40 minute podcast every single week so that you can enjoy it while you drive your kids around to soccer practice or to school or at the pickup line and you don't want to look at the other parents. You can listen to our podcast. So what are some of the things that you're going to be listening to here? My goal with this, again, I want this to be a community and a place for you to be comfortable and feel heard. One of the reasons why I originally started my Instagram page was for that same purpose, to get a place where people could feel comfortable and heard and seen. So hopefully this kind of platform with the podcast will be even more accessible to you. Our podcast will also be live on YouTube at the same time that it will be live online and on your, Apple Podcast and every other venue that you can think of for your podcast. It will be available. So I don't know, let's get started. I mean, one of the things that happened today that was funny to me is that I finally announced it on Instagram that I was going to do this. And I got to be honest, I think that I psyched myself out of doing so many things. And I told my people on Instagram, listen, on January 1st, when the new year started, I said to myself, this is going to be the year where I'm just going to say, F it. Anything that comes my way that I want to do, anything that God puts in my heart that I'm like, this is what I want to do right now, I'm going to go for it. So even though it's been years since I've been planning this podcast, it's the first time that I actually feel like I can do it because I feel like I'm leaving so much behind in this past year. As most of you know, if you don't know me, my name is Nelli. I should have introduced myself like 20 minutes ago. But if you don't know me, my name is Nelli, aka Twin Mama Nels on Instagram. I'm a twin mom of beautiful 3, almost 4-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. And I'm part of a very big community in Instagram and part of the autism community. My beautiful son is autistic, and I have so much to share from our lives, but I want to learn from others too. So the idea of the podcast is to keep bringing people in, right? So I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you will join us every week. This is just a short introduction so we can get to know each other. And I'm so excited to have you. I wish I could just hug you through the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're just hearing this on your Apple Podcast or wherever you're listening, just know that I'm sending you the most amazing, biggest hug ever because I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed every day in this journey, be absolutely joyous of the blessing that being a mother is. But I feel like there's so much that we tend to not talk about. Previous generations didn't talk about the stuff that we do. As we raise our kids, a lot of us are trying to kind of change the generational patterns that we saw when we were growing up. And I know that can feel very lonely within your family settings and society and all the expectations that are put up online. And we go into Instagram every day to look at the highlight reel of someone else's life. So the goal here is that you will actually feel seen. You will actually feel like, dang, I'm not the only one. And that's my goal. And we want to laugh, we want to cry, we want to have some fun together. Next week, I'm very excited. We're going to have our first guest. Her name is Carrie, and Carrie has 6 children. She is amazing, beautiful, smart, and such a good resource for all of us. She's gone through this for a while, right? So she can kind of give us insight into what that looks like. She also has little twins like me, younger than mine. So it's going to be interesting to have those conversations with people. We want to talk about what happens when we leave a career and become moms. We want to talk about postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. We want to talk about budgeting as a family. We want to talk about the best advice that has been given to us in the years that we've been doing this. Like, I want this to be a resource, a fun hangout for you, and just a place where you feel welcomed. So, with that being said, I hope you stick around. I hope you like what we bring. And if you have any suggestions, we do have an email, inotherwordsmothehood@gmail.com. So if you have any suggestions, any questions, any people that you want to see in our podcast, just email me. And I will go through every single email that I received and make sure that we are listening to you. So yeah, welcome. And I am so freaking excited to have you here. What else can I say? I almost get emotional with it because this has been a long time coming. And when I first started my Instagram, I remember thinking, there's no one out there like me. I look at Instagram and I'm like, oh God. The way that we treat mothers sometimes is almost dismissive. And I felt like we needed a place for others to feel safe. And I really hope that this podcast can do the same thing that my Instagram page is doing for you. And if you're not following me on Instagram, feel free to head that way at Twin Mama Nels. We also have a page for the podcast. Same name of the podcast, In Other Words, Motherhood. Anyway, I really hope to see you there. I'm sending you the biggest hug again, and thank you for being here. Hopefully this blurt of words made sense. I'm just so excited, and I cannot wait to see where this goes and the amazing community that we grow. So if you have friends, share next week or the end of next week. We're going to get our second episode, and we're going to have a big, huge, amazing guest. So I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here, and I cannot wait to get this started with you. Bye.